Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to Rob Motive JT. We have the last front lighting mod for the Jeep back here. This is a Jeep Wrangler. I know it's a Jeep Gladiator channel. It's actually a Jeep channel, but it focuses on the Gladiator. But anyway, we'll be getting back to more Jeep Gladiator content shortly. And actually, you may be able to put this grill on the Gladiator, so it kind of does apply. It's sitting right over here on the table. It replaces the grill as well as the front headlights. So it's going to be interesting to see. Everything is LED with some cool running lights and all that stuff. Should be pretty cool. So first of all, we have to take the grill off. But before I can do that, she's got some lights in here. This is my wife's Jeep, by the way, that we have to disconnect. So we're going to do that, and we're going to pop that grill. To remove those lights, first had to disconnect the ATA fuse. It was actually plugged into the 20 amp socket there. I've put the 20 amp back in. So we just have to cut the zip ties that are running along the front, and then we're going to be able to pull the grill. The grill is pretty simple. There are a few push pins right across the front. You have to go ahead and pop those out. They just pull out from the center and release. And then there are several little holders into the bottom, which is actually what holds it in. So you kind of pull forward on that and we'll have the grill out. Okay, actually got a little bit ahead of myself. Before you pop the grill off, you should go ahead, and I just set it back up here so that I'd have an easier place to work. But you have to remove this strip across the front because we're going to reuse it. Just has these little green holders here. So you just want a tool to get underneath and just pry them up. They're all across the front. So we'll do that. There, and I'm going to just lay it up here for safekeeping in the same position that it came off because I'll want to put it back on the same way. So now we can actually pull the grill off and move on to the next step. Next up, we have to remove this piece across the bottom because, again, it's a piece that we're going to reuse. Now, there are two ways to remove them. You can cut the ends of these off, which I found to be rather difficult to do, or you can drill down through the top of them right through here on each one. So I'm going to drill through here to release those rivets, and then we should be able to remove that piece on the bottom there. So let's give this a try, see how it works. And the rivet, I don't know if you guys heard that, but it's rather hot, but it did fall out. So I'm going to do the rest, and then we'll remove this piece. We've got the rivets off against the top. Obviously it's loose, but we have to pull out the middle section, which is now down here. It's a bunch of screws and clasps, easy to see when you're looking at it, so kind of skip through that part. Up here at the top, we are going to reuse this piece, but as you can see, it's all one integral piece in there. So what you have to do is make a cut right across each one of these so that you can remove this part because it is going to go on the new grill. So I'm going to use just a pair of snips or something just to cut right across here evenly, hopefully, to get that top part loose. Modding is not for the faint-hearted. We have it off, as you can see. There are my cuts. Not all perfectly even, but it doesn't matter. Next up, we have to remove these little holders, these little things right across, I don't know what they're called, right across the front here, because they're going to go on the new grill to hold the grill in when we push it up against the truck. So I'm going to see about removing these next. You'll just be able to use a screwdriver and pry them up, at least from everything I've seen. Not too bad. They did come right off pretty easily. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the rest. You'll need all of these across the front. The two on the sides, it does not appear that the new grill has those. So just these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now that we've got the old grill out of the way, time to work on the new one. I'm gonna go ahead and install these little clips. These are the ones, again, that go across the bottom, right across here, that plug into the Jeep to hold it in place. Should be able to just push them right on, in theory. Let's see how that works. First one was a fail, but the next one was good. Yeah, I wimped out. I got gloves. A little hard on the thumb. Okay, got all those on. Next up, we're going to secure this top piece that we cut off of the other one. It just goes right across the top, right here, with the provided hardware that they gave. So, there's a couple of push pin type things, and then I think there are 3 screws, so we're going to go ahead and put that on next. Next up, we'll be removing the headlights because we're not going to use these headlights. We've got our own headlights in the new grill. To remove those, there are 3 10mm bolts, 1, 2, 3, and then just disconnect them from the back. That's it. That is a big honking light. Okay, everything is done on the grill. All the wiring is done. I did add a quick disconnect or a disconnect here in case I wanted to unplug it from the fuse panel. Just something I think you should do as opposed to wiring it straight in case you ever want to take the grill off for some reason. Right here it is. You just pull it. Otherwise, all the wiring's done. Everything is switched. Over here we have the quick disconnect. And of course the fuse with the 5-amp fuse they gave. This is going to go in slot number 52, which is the 20-amp fuse you can see right there, right next to this bank. So now all I have to do is lift it up here, connect it up, and see if it actually works. The grill is on. We're going to fire it up here in just a second, but there's what it looks like with the hood up. I have tested it, it does work, but I'm going to show you guys. Let's put the hood down, see what it looks like naturally or normally. All right, there is the look with the hood down. It certainly does give it a more aggressive look, I'll say that. It looks a bit meaner. And if you look at it just right, you can see the 2 eyes up here and the mouth right there. Kind of gives it a little angry look, even though it's not the angry, grill or whatever, the angry eyes. But you do kind of get that a little bit looking at it like this. Let's fire it up and see what it looks like. Okay, there you go. You saw what they looked like. You could hear the commentating from the background. But here she is. What do you think?
Oh, I think that's freaking awesome.
So you like it?
I love it.
Well, that's all that matters, I suppose.
I love it.
Anyway, the install really wasn't too bad. Pretty darn simple, just a little time consuming. I spent probably a couple of hours, maybe more doing it, but that's because I'm filming and taking my time. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think. Yes or no? I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Mod Driven, all about the Mercedes-Benz, for now, and Rob Motive, all about the Toyota Tacoma. Check them out, and if you're interested, why not subscribe? And while you're at it, smash the subscribe button here, too. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.